everyone, it's Gina having her coffee and Nicole having her Prosecco from Me and Brows. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hi Gina.
Hi everybody.
How's it going? How's it going?
Yes, how's everybody else? I hope
everyone's doing
Crazy
well.
times at the moment again.
I know.
Yeah, Nicole and I thought it'd be good to do a video just to touch base, and if anyone is is starting out in cosmetic tattooing and just wants to upskill, it's good to practice during this lockdown. And Nicole will show you some of the techniques and some tricks that she has learned along the way.
Yeah, I've got some practice pads and I've got my microblading tool. I'm just going to really quickly show you a few tricks with microblading and then pull out the digital machine and show you a few tricks there. So quickly as possible so we don't have to be too long, but just wanted to give you a few tips if you're practicing at home. So I'm going to just pull the camera down so that you can see what I'm doing. So this is the practice pads. I already have pre-drawn eyebrows on there. I forgot my finger rings. So this is going to be where I pop some pigment in, and I'm using the Tina Davies dark brown. I'm using the Flexi blade needle, and that just means it's more of a flexible blade, 12 pin slanted. So you don't have to use pigment. What you can do is just literally, as you can see, I'll make sure you can see. So make sure that your blade is completely flat onto the practice pad. So 3-point stretch, 1, 2, 3, and you use your pinky as an anchor as you're working. So the blade flat on the surface, this blade at 90 degree straight up facing the ceiling, no sideways, no, not frontwards or backwards. So I'm just going to create one stroke here without using pigment and just doing a beautiful curved stroke, just like that. And then leave a little gap in between. This is stroke method 1. Can you see how you can see those little markings? 3-point stretch, we're doing the left brow. And we're doing our third stroke. So this is if it's a first session. And we're gonna leave those strokes separated so that when they condense and shrink 6 weeks later after healing, we can create more tiny little strokes in there to create more of a 3D look. See how I'm going just to the border and I'm allowing the end of the stroke to be beautifully curved. As I'm actually going down and doing more strokes, I'm slightly rotating clockwise. Yes, that does make sense. Slightly moving my angle to the right. Gina, don't laugh at me. And that way my strokes are slowly inclining and they're not straight up like this. So I'm slowly turning around, and I'll show you what we do when we get to the arch. So I'm doing just long straight strokes all upwards. Here we go, we're getting to the arch. So see how already I've created that. Now we're going to create the arch area. So let's make sure you can see.
For people who are just new to microblading, how do you know the depth?
So the depth is something that you learn really when you're working on skin. So there's the epidermis and then there's the dermis. So you need to hit the top layer of the dermis, penetrating the epidermis on a very slight level. It's literally like you are creating a very small paper cut into the skin. So when you move the skin around, it's not too deep, but deep enough where it's a paper cut. Really hard to explain unless you actually work on skin, and that just comes with time and practice. But for the sake of just practicing your stroke patterns, just concentrate now on your practice pads with building up that muscle memory of creating those patterns. So here I'm going into my arch, and I'm going to curve that arch like this all the way around to there. Now coming back down here, we're almost creating large rainbows, and I'm going to create that bottom arch going straight to finish right there to where the border is, and then underneath all the way to the tail. Then I'm going to turn this around as if I'm turning to the side where my client will be, and then I'm going to do another long stroke, not going too close to my other stroke. And now I'm starting to curve downways. Can you see that? Curving down and starting to the base, making sure that my blade is straight up, coming down. See how it's coming down a little bit now? And then one more stroke here, just on the bottom, taking it down to the tail. Now you can come back in and I can see, for example, a tiny little gap in here. I'm just going to poke in a tiny little stroke there. And just here, I might just do one more here just for the sake of it looking pretty. So there we go, that's the left brow. What I tend to do when I actually microblade is I turn it around and I come around the client from behind them, 3-point stretch, and I press in the end of the strokes, because as you're creating your stroke, when you're lifting off to finish off your stroke, your depth can be a little bit more shallower just naturally. So I like to just press them very gently in, as you can see, turn around and just gently press in the end bits of the stroke. Just like that. And that's a good way of practicing. And then you can also make sure your flow is beautiful on the top of the brow. Okay, so that is a pattern 1 where they're all just upward strokes. See that, Gina? They're all just upward strokes. So I'm going to do the stroke pattern 2. So I'm working on the right brow, 3-point stretch. So just making sure you can see, good. So flat surface, make sure that it's not bending to the side. And we're just going to create beautiful, rounded, crisp strokes. Let's make sure you can see. And Gina, I can hear you munching. What are you eating?
Hey?
Yeah, what are you eating?
I'm not eating anything.
Okay.
My coffee I was drinking.
Swear a word, munching, guys. So I'm just doing upward strokes all the way to the arch, curving a little bit more as I go. So just showing a few little tricks here, using my pinky as an anchor. Okay, so I'm about to enter the arch and I've created my arch. So can you see that? I've just created my arch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this here and I'm going to come into the arch. I'm going to make sure you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to come from my arch from the border and I'm going to create, I don't want my strokes to be straight down like this. I don't want them to be straight. I want them to be curved as so. Curved as so. So from the arch, I want you to curve down, and you're doing this into the tail of the brow until you reach the tip of the tail. Can you see that? How they're just curved down, but they're not straight strokes, okay? Once I've done them, I'm coming back to the mid of the brow underneath here, and I'm just going to create another large rainbow stroke underneath, and I'm going to curve that all the way around to the base of the brow. Never crisscross your strokes. Never create a stroke and cross over, because this area here, right there in the middle of the cross, you'll have migration. It'll just blow out. Okay, I'm just going to create another long stroke and curve it all the way down, and another one underneath. Beautiful. So I like to create downward strokes just from the arch to the tail. Some people like to create downward strokes from here, but the Me and Brows method, I feel as though these two patterns are the most natural. So practice those, guys, over and over. We're just at 9 minutes now, so I'll cap it there and I'll do another video where I will show you how to use the digital machine, and I just got the Bella machine, so it's really exciting, and I'll show you how that is done. So I'll just put this back up. Did you learn anything, Gina?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I couldn't really see the strokes very well.
No, I know. So I should have, like, actually next time I'll pull this down.
On next video, I don't know what everyone else thinks, but colour theory.
Yes, we do. We'll do a video also on colour theory. Lots of love, guys. I'm about to do another video on the Bella machine. Everything will be on Instagram and Facebook on the link below. Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye.